sit here for like a minute like this. I'm just kidding. All right, dude. So this is the body positivity panel for ICA. Not to be confused with confidence and cosplay, which is tomorrow, which is the same thing and like the same people, actually. So it'll be a little bit different, but it'll be just as fun. So, I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. I'm Jacqueline D. I'm the vice president of ICA, the Indiana Cosplay Association. We're a big, huge group of big, huge nerds who dress up and hang out and share our love for, you know, our fandoms and dressing up and all of that fun stuff. I've been cosplaying now for 5 years, I think it ends up being. That loud man over there is Rap Battle Spidey walking in hella late and then walking out. Thank you. Grand entrance, Rap Battle Spidey, everyone. Woo! But yeah, so I've been in this for a minute or two, and I'll let Dustin introduce himself.
Hey everyone, I'm Dustin, and I've been cosplaying for the past year and a half, and obviously I like to do the Joker. I've been known to cosplay as Sting. I've done other cosplays too. Pikachu. Twerkachu for after parties.
Goodness.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I've been cosplaying for about 7 or 8 years now. It started out mainly at GameStop. I would dress up for Minette launches according to the game that I was releasing, and then it just kind of went from there for characters that I either related to or preferred. And then I've been a part of ICA for about 2 years now.
So if you guys have any questions when we're talking, you don't have to wait till the end. It's not that deep. If if we're touching a topic that you feel, strongly about, or you want to know more, anything. This one's not obviously as much of a technical panel as it is more of like a conversational, let's all kind of help each other kind of panel. So if you guys do have something, just, you can blurt it out. It's not, it's not super, super formal or anything. People keep coming in and going.
With that look that he does.
So, I guess one of the things that I wanted to kind of start us off with is, obviously the body positivity part of it is, sometimes it's hard to stay motivated and stay excited about, yourself, of course, especially in the cosplay world where we're all kind of, usually a little bit more nervous or a little bit more, not socially acceptable to do these things, So how to kind of keep yourself happy, not necessarily of course there's going to be a few, there's people that are going to say more fit, more, to change yourself for your cosplay. This isn't exactly one of those panels. This is more or less like be happy with yourself, with the cosplay that you like, the fandom that you're wanting to express, and kind of more of like not necessarily how to do it, because that's not, that's more individualized for every person. Something that's going to work for me may not work for you. May not work for you. It may not work for any of you. But sometimes just talking it out with people and saying, hey, I feel dumb sometimes. I feel insecure sometimes. Sometimes that within itself is kind of nice to even share that, let alone look into a room and say, hey, dang, I'm not the only one. So that's kind of, where I wanted to at least start off. And if you guys are looking for health tips, I'm not your girl. So this isn't going to be that panel. I'm sorry. I'm not going to tell you how to bench press some stuff and look, ripped as crap in your cosplay, because I'm not that person. That's not what I try to promote by myself, let alone in ICA. I really strongly believe that we should not necessarily just like yourself, but that you should be nice to other people, of course, too, and you should like the cosplay that you try to, kind of produce. So, I obviously know that you guys kind of agree, because we've talked briefly about this a little bit, too. Mm-hmm. How do you kind of stay motivated when you see someone else who's wearing another Joker, and for a split second, you're like, dang, you kind of instantly compare yourself. You're human. We all do it. How do you stay motivated to keep going?
Well, I like to think of myself as my own competition.
Okay.
I don't like to actually compare myself to other jokers. I'm my own one kind of a joker, so I like to do my own version. I don't necessarily go for accuracy.
So would you say that that's kind of like the way that you kind of help yourself feel a little bit more
unique.
Unique to yourself, that you're not doing, Heath Ledger Joker like everyone else. You're doing a crazy little spin on it. You're doing, a different Joker. You're wearing the Arkham, you're throwing your own little twist on it to make yourself kind of feel better.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. What about you, Melissa? What kind of keeps you, motivated?
I think with that sense, I kind of agree with Dustin. I don't compare myself to another cosplayer or to that cosplay. Everyone is different, and there are certain things that I add or subtract to my own costume that's different from someone else. It's not there to compete. I personally don't compete in cosplay contests whatsoever. I think they're fun. I think it's great that people can go in and do it, but from my own personal standpoint, I just don't do it because I'm not there for that. I'm there to meet new people, see new people, just share my passion of the character, of the fandom for that character. So that's why I'm there. It's not just there's another Sophie, and wow, now I feel like crap. I don't go to a convention or a con to feel like crap. So it's just about the mindset that you have for yourself and for that character.
So would you guys say, even when you first started out, have you always kind of tried to keep that mindset, or is it more of a veteran, you've been to a bunch of conventions, so now you kind of just feel closer to that way, or did you guys always kind of go into it thinking that way?
That was my original mindset when I went into, you're going to meet other cosplayers that are amazing in their own ways, and
just try not to compare yourself as much.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's just necessarily singled out for just cosplay. I think it's for everything, really. That person's arms are more ripped, or their hair is thicker or prettier. We do that every day, I think, to ourselves, as far as the grass is always greener mindset. So it's just kind of avoiding that in general, and it is a healthy process to go through, just to kind of say, you know what, we're all human. Don't compete with other people. I'm not here for competition. Okay, that's my thing. But it's just kind of adapting that mindset. What the heck, Lee?
It was so cute sounding.
But yeah, it's just, I don't think it's something specifically for cosplay. It's just in general.
Yeah. So, I'm one of those people that does that, though. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm not. Every once in a while, I'll see another Batgirl, and I'll be like, dang, man, I should have just done that one little thing more. I'm my own harshest critic, and so I definitely do kind of do that sometimes. And so I'm not going to sit up here and be like, I'm so great, I don't do that. I absolutely do. I personally, to try to stay more positive, I usually just talk it out with other cosplayers. And, hey, what could I do this better? Or, hey, what did you do? What'd you do when you had this moment? When you hit that wall? Do you just sit there and watch anime all day like I do and just, try to veg it out? Or, what do you kind of, So that's what I personally do, is just kind of, talk that one out sometimes. So what would I know that both of you get on, the page a lot to, you guys both, post a bunch of positivity. What do you... what's your thought with that? Obviously you do it, but when you go into it, when you see someone putting themselves down in their own cosplay, what instantly makes you go, oh my gosh, no, I'm going to help that person out today, and talk them out of it?
It's just the first instinct is to encourage them naturally, but we all have those thoughts, it's just, again, a process that you go through in your own mind of, you know what, it's okay. I always look at the positive sides, what do you like about yourself? like, oh, I love my eyes. Like, everybody compliments my eyes. I think I need eyes sometimes, you know, and it's just kind of looking at the perks and looking at the brighter side, I guess you could say.
Playing up your strengths kind of
Yes.
a little bit more. So what about you? Do you guys have any questions? I mean, this one's not really like a real question-y kind of panel, of course. But like, what do you guys kind of do? Like when you like get that mean comment on, you know, your Facebook, or when you hear that person when you walk by, you know, when you're walking some. Are you asking for a rap battle?
But I kill them with kindness. Like, I try to use my sarcasm and stuff. I just let it bounce off of me. Yeah, it's no big deal. It's all cool. People want to hate, man. You keep drinking that hate all you want to. You can just refill that cup.
Savage.
I got friends, and that's all that matters to me.
I mean, like, that absolutely does help, too. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, thinking of it as, you know, yeah, man, this cosplay may, you know, you could think that, but, you know, I have I'm more than just this character today. You know, you are a person.
Don't let people get to you.
Yeah,
Fine.
exactly.
Life's too short. Don't let them ruin your time. It's like, if you haven't noticed, brushing them off.
That's definitely for sure something that, I mean, you definitely do have to keep it in mind, and it is a fun thing. You know, we're all just loving whatever character, you know, you're wearing, even if you're just wearing a dress that has just, you know, a Miss Marvel emblem on it. Yes, of course. You know, you take the time to, you know, you love your thing, and of course, you know, more in the cosplay and in you know, the convention geeky world, we're all super passionate about whatever we're excited about. We're not just like, oh, hey, I like this thing. We love this thing, you know, like I love a lot of things, so I couldn't really fill that in really that quickly. but you know, well, right now I'm all about Pokemon, like everyone else in the freaking world. So, I mean, I guess just a little bit, but but you know, I mean, like we all kind of, it's the best way to kind of go into to keeping it positive. That, you know, you're not into it to just, you know, oh, hey, I guess I'll wear this thing and I'll walk around. Like, I mean, conventions are long. Conventions you walk, and it's not exactly always the most fun leading up to that point. So, I mean, at least at the end, if you're getting that, you know, yeah, I feel cool, like, that's something, you know.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
I had my first convention cosplay, and I had really worked myself up to doing it. And one of my problems was that there's a lot of characters I would have loved to do, but I didn't think that I could like feel good doing those characters because I didn't think that fit the image. I know that's not true because I've seen lots of pictures of people doing lots of characters where they don't fit the body. They pulled off great, but for me it was a little hard. What would you suggest to someone to help? Like convince them to go ahead and do a character that they love that they feel like they don't somehow.
Well, I'm short as shit. That's really obvious. And I, every once in a while, pull out She-Hulk, who is tall and very skinny and very muscular, and I am not. So a lot of the times when I do wear She-Hulk, I'm just like, yeah, I'm sure, you know, I got hit by Shrink Ray. You know, like you play it up. You have a little bit more fun with it. My biggest motivation when I have moments like that, I'll just give you a personal experience. I just recently got my Batgirl suit, and it's a full body suit. I wore it yesterday, and it is skin tight. It is tight as heck, and it's black, thankfully, so I feel a little comfortable. But when I first got it, I was super scared. I was like, I'm gonna have to diet for weeks. Like, I'm never eating. Celery is gonna be my friend. Like, that was kind of like my mindset going into it, just because I was a little really insecure. It was a new costume. Or even my Dazzler costume is silver. There is hiding nothing. Like, you can't hide. Every roll is there. You can see, like, panty lines. You can see everything. But I love Dazzler. Like, she is my spirit animal. And I'm not tall and skinny and blonde, you know, but I'm my own version of Dazzler, you know, and, like, there are people out there that, like, kill it You know what I mean? Like, and they're doing it the same way. Like, I think that the easy answer for that one is going to be just do you. You know, like just do you and screw what anyone else says. The harder part is keeping that mindset and actually thinking it. You know, but in a big, and even in a smaller convention, if you wear like any costume, somebody's going to come up to you and say, "Man, I really like that," and take your picture, no matter what you're wearing. And you have to think about that one person, because maybe that person like had a crappy day, and they saw you and your fandom, and they also enjoy that fandom. You know, saw a chick who was wearing a cosplay from Another, the anime Another. I feel like none of you. Wasn't it? But first off, she killed it. And not many other people know about that anime. She made my whole damn day today. Like, her and the other chick who wore Stocking from Panty and Stocking, those are so freaking obscure. Like, she made my fangirl day today. Like, sometimes those moments, like, they can just build you up a little bit more than almost yourself kind of can sometimes. What do you guys think?
Well, I cosplay as Sting, and Sting is technically 6'3", 260 pounds.
Yeah.
So, me being 5'4" and 185 pounds, I don't care anybody's opinion. I'm still going to cosplay it.
Yeah. I think so.
You
Yeah,
kill
it's
it.
awesome. Seriously.
You kill it. Especially when you're like, hey,
That version?
yes.
Sick.
We need to do a wrestling cosplay, like get a whole bunch of us and just like do
Just do
wrestlers.
wrestling matches
We should
and
do
stuff.
Marvel. Let's do our next Marvel mashup. Let's do it wrestle style. I'll do
Yes.
Dazzler, Diva Dazzler.
Diva and Dazzler.
Diva Dazzler, yes. That'd be badass.
It would, yeah.
I
What
think,
is it? I'll be Xbox Spider-Man.
yes! Killing it.
Day.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Alright, sorry. So how do you kind of, back to the panel a little bit.
Not wrestling.
Right.
What was the question?
How do you, like, if you don't feel like you look like that character, how do you kind of, like, what would you say to someone? How would you feel about it? Like, how do you kind of psych yourself into it?
Well, here's the thing. There's two ways of going about it, just for me personally and me talking with friends, too. It's one thing to say, screw it, I'm going to cosplay, like, for instance, Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. My friend was a little bit more on the heavier side, and she was like, I'm just going to say screw it, I'm just going to cosplay as her. And of course, you've got the crop top, you've got the skin tight pants and everything. Well, she had that all together, and she's like, I don't feel comfortable in this. Like, I know I said screw it, but I don't think that I can keep saying screw it constantly in my head while I'm at a convention. And I was like, well, okay, what if you did your own version? And she was like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, just, I don't know, you can make anything and still make it recognizable as Lara Croft, and it may even look even more badass or cooler in that sense. And she did. She made a full, like, dress for Lara Croft, and, like, it had all these different, like, gadgets and stuff, and, like, holsters for things, and then the belt across, and it was still the colors and everything for it. And then she had even, like, the triangle attachments to her chest, like from the PS2, like, original games where it's triangle tits, Lara Croft. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, so then she made a joke with it, too, and it was great. Like, it was fantastic, and she felt great in it, too. So I think that is something that you can do, too, because it's one thing to look in the mirror at home and say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with this, and I've done it, too. I cosplay as Eto from Tokyo Ghoul, and it's just, like, the mummy wraps.
I love it, though.
And it's
I
like,
just love you in that one, though.
oh, man. But the first time I cosplayed that, I was like, oh, my gosh, like, you know what, just screw it. But the whole time I was at Gen Con last year, I was just, like, trying to cover